Once upon a time, a girl named Felicity and a boy named Peter bought an abandoned 1830s farmhouse in New York. It is August 14th, 2024, and y'all, it's all happening today. So the driveway has already gone in, which we have covered in a previous video, and this video is going to cover planning out where the septic system is going to go on the property. The barn has started to come down, and a preview of what's happening next week. More exciting updates on the property. They've been saving all these pieces of shale as they find them. I don't quite know what we're going to do with them yet. Perhaps landscaping or something, but I'm excited about them. I'm excited about the possibility of having them. I feel like at the right time it's going to be brilliant to have these, even though I'm pretty sure everybody on the crew thinks I'm crazy for wanting them. So that's very exciting. And then let's talk about a septic, because we have figured out where the septic is going. I don't remember if I said in a previous video that nobody can find any trace of the current septic system. There's nothing from the sellers on where the current septic system might be, anything of that nature. So we're starting over from scratch. The requirements are that your septic tank be 50 feet from your well cap, which is right there, and far away from your stream, right? So you're not getting anything into a stream. And then your leach field for your septic system needs to be 100 feet from the well cap. So there's the well cap. This line here is where the line out of the house is going to come. This square here on the property is where the septic tank is going to go. And we are only, I'm bad at estimating, 15 feet from, 20 feet from the driveway. Now there will be a carport here, so this will be behind the carport, but that should be close enough here for them to be able to get in and service the tank when they need to. And then it's going to be a gravity assisted system, so there's no extra pumps. So then from here the piping goes out and across to here. I still have to watch my feet a little bit, although they've done a marvelous job getting it graded. So it comes out to here. This is where the distributor box will be, and then this is the sand trap here, and it's going to go back quite a ways, basically to where the biggest version, if we get the 4 to 6 bedroom version, is going to go to where the edge of the driveway is. So it's quite a lot of real estate that we aren't going to be able to use for anything else on the sunniest part of the house, which is frustrating. We think we can put solar panels here, although it's a little bit chancy because you don't want the posts for the solar panels to puncture the pipes that are going to be running here. We also think this is where we're going to put our wood to cure, so this will be a wood curing site, because again, that's going to need surface area, and if this is a good place to put it, it'll be near the house. So that goes that way, and then you have your effluent field, which is going to go off in this direction. It's going to go off quite a ways in this direction, and it's going to be 30 feet wide, I think they said, by about 50 feet long. This was a big blow when Peter told me yesterday that it was going to take up this much space. I hadn't realized it was going to take up quite this much space. And even if I had, previous to being out on the property and walking it, it was really hard for me to envision how much of this property this was going to take up. Now again, there's quite a lot of property left, and we don't have a master plan yet of how we want to build this up as a food forest. But the plan is to plant fruit trees, fruit bushes, nut trees, nut bushes, and a lot of perennials. The idea is to build a forest, which you all are familiar with, that produces food. So everything that is in a normal forest would ideally have a food producing function or a support function or something like that. And so that's what we're going to do. Let me turn you back around. We'll go look at the barn, because they've been working on the barn today as well. So look at this. I don't know if you guys have watched the previous videos. If you haven't, you may not find this view remarkable. I find this view remarkable for two reasons. A, there's no longer a shed here. B, there's no longer a tree growing out of the front side of the house. But C, and most importantly, it's more or less level. I mean, yes, it does have a couple bends in it. It's a little bit lower here than other places. You guys, this ground was so uneven when we got here just because nobody had taken care of it. It had little rocks and rills and bumps and things. So to see it on a gentle slope that's more or less even as it slopes down is absolutely incredible. It's such a great thing. The other thing that Jeff's crew did today, they leveled out the knoll that was here, which is where the propane tank used to be. And in fact, we can tell where the propane tank used to be because the lines are still there. This they just left in place. This is one of the cement pads that the propane tank was sitting on. I think the other one might have been there. But you can see where the propane line was because it goes right into the house and it connects right where that blue regulator is. So they're going to tear that out when they come in and give us a new propane tank, and the propane tank will sit right out here. And what we're thinking, Peter and I, so imagine to the left of the digger, that is our wood curing pile. We bring the wood up the driveway because of course there's going to be a carport and a garden shed of some sort here. We bring it up, and then the smaller pile is right here where this door is, not stacked right up against the house obviously, but within a couple feet here. So that would be the closer to the house outdoor pile. And then what would be ideal, and we'll have to talk to James about this, is having some sort of steps. There are steps on this side of the porch, but to have to go around and up the steps is not as convenient as being able to go up this way. So to have a ramp or steps or something up this way to the end of the deck would be really helpful for bringing in firewood if the firewood's going to be hanging out right over here, because the best door to bring the firewood in is this one, because this is the door that goes right on into the room with the fireplace. The wood stove. I keep saying fireplace. The wood stove in it. So that's the current plan. I really love this door. I'm glad they saved it. I don't know what I'm going to do with it yet, but I love that. I think it's super cute. So, on to the barn, which you guys can already see is a big difference. They've been pulling the siding off today. I was talking to one of the guys who was here earlier. He also was the one who was doing a lot of the mowing when we were here a couple weeks ago. He said a lot of the boards from the shed that they tore down and also from the barn here, a lot of these boards are just in bad shape. They don't look maybe bad from a distance, but a lot of them have termite damage. There's no live termites in them now, but a lot of them have termite damage. There's a lot of boards that are just splitting because they're old and weathered and haven't been taken care of, and so where they might have been useful, they just split in two when they come off and are no longer useful. I keep marveling at the amount of crap that they put in these outbuildings. I mean, I'm a hoarder, I will grant you that, but I hoard things that I think are eventually going to be useful. But some of the stuff in here, I just look at it and I go, why would you even have saved this in the first place? So they've been taking down, I think the whole thing is supposed to come down in the next few days or so. I mean, just look, I don't even know, can you guys see back in the corner there? It might be too dark. There's just a pile of stuff. I don't even know what that is. It's not savable, it's not usable, it's just stuff. The roof materials are going to be here on Monday or Tuesday, so unfortunately the rain is supposed to come in next week. We had a lot of rain last week with post-tropical storm Hurricane Debbie, and then this week we are going to be fine, and then next week it's supposed to be rainy again. So unfortunately we're going to have to work around the rain. However, we're going to get a new roof, and when the roof gets done, we're also going to get the porch done, which will be great. So those will be two kind of big pieces on the outside that will look a whole lot better. And then a lot of the work from here on in, except for the septic, which will be coming in a few weeks because they have to order all the materials for our system, and we have to decide whether we want to upgrade the system as well. So that will still have to be done. Right now we have a 3-person system, a 3-bedroom system spec'd. However, it turns out that adding a garbage disposal adds another room requirement to your septic system. And we've also talked about putting a cottage on the property at some point in the future, and that would also require a bigger system. We would love to put in the bigger system now. The question is, as always, can we afford to do so? One of the reasons that I wanted to start this channel was to talk about stewardship and to talk about restoration. And I was actually talking to a friend of mine this morning about it, and she used the word salvation, which I thought was a really interesting word. And I honestly, that's what I feel like we're doing here. We're saving something, which was the point. We wanted something that had history, that had character, that was worth saving. And now that we're 3 weeks in and the driveway's in and things are actually substantively happening, that feels like the right word to use, at least for this stage of the process. Obviously not everything we can save, the outbuildings we couldn't save, things like that. But generally speaking, I think the word salvation really sums up what we're doing here.
And to wrap up, I want to say a very quick thank you to the Country Dad construction crew for all of their help making today's video possible, because without their work there would have been nothing to film. And thanks to all of you for sticking around. It has been such a joy to share this journey with you all here on YouTube, and I'm looking forward to sharing much more of it. So thanks for watching. I'll see you soon.